Hello, fourth graders. Welcome back. This is session 6, and we'll be talking about synthesizing information. And synthesizing is pretty much thinking about information, trying to see what is important, what should you include, what shouldn't you include. Another big component of this is trying to figure out, is it something that is accurate, or is it something that's kind of made up? This, again, also ties back to Wikipedia, where I believe Wikipedia is a pretty accurate source for historical context. The two sources that you have down below, Paul Revere's Ride poem, is a poem written well after Paul Revere was dead by Henry Wadsworth Longfellow. And then we also have the famous Ride of Paul Revere, which you read earlier, and that was kind of a legend that was talked about by his family. So both of these would give information. I think some of the information in here is very accurate, but I think some of the information in both of these texts is not that accurate. I think it's giving things, it kind of misleads things, it tries to make it more entertaining as opposed to being informational. So you have to be very, very careful with what you're looking at. A lot of the sources that I have on my webpage and a lot of the books that we have, like on Epic, I think are going to be very informational and very sound and accurate sources. You have to be careful when you're reading things like Paul Revere's Ride's poem, and also when you're getting like a family legend, because things can change as stories get told. Word of mouth can definitely change things. So really be careful with what is the same. I always think it's important to try to find two pieces of information from two different sources. So try to find the same information from two different sources. That'll help you to make sure that it's accurate. And I think it's also important just to look at things just in general in terms of the source. Is it a source that has .com, which is a company? Might not be the most accurate. If it has .edu, its education is probably most of the time a college, which will be very significant, very accurate. Or you also have things like .gov, and those also would be good sources. So be very careful about who you or what you're reading and who you trust, and we'll get more into that tomorrow. Today's writing is going to be 5 important facts about your person or about your events, depending on what you're doing. So for Benjamin Franklin, I have tons and tons of events. I actually made, instead of 2 slides, you'll be doing this today and tomorrow. I actually ended up doing this as giving 5 today, 5 tomorrow. I gave 5 more another time. So I have at least 15 facts altogether on Benjamin Franklin because I think he's so fascinating. So as I looked through all the notes, I wrote down things that I thought were kind of important, and how I organized mine was trying to put it kind of in order. I did it in chronological order, so the order that things happen, like a timeline in real life. So I jotted down that, like I talked about yesterday, he wasn't allowed to write editorials or opinions to his brother's newspaper, so he made up a pseudonym, a fake name, and he was Mrs. Silence Dogood. His opinions became very, very popular, and his brother eventually found out and was really, really mad at him because he saw that his younger brother was kind of deceiving his readers in the newspaper by putting things in with a fake name or a false name. In 1729, Franklin eventually published the newspaper, the Pennsylvania Gazette, which was pretty cool. It was something that he always wanted to do. It's one of the reasons why he left his family in Boston and went to Philadelphia and went to Pennsylvania, because he wanted to do things on his own. Later on in his life, he lived in London for a few years during his early time period, but also went there throughout most of the 1750s and 1760s, and he became a very big voice for the colonists in Britain. One of the things that he voiced was a concern about the Stamp Act in 1765, and it was repealed, it was stopped, they changed it partially because of his urging. And another thing that Benjamin Franklin did was help write the Declaration of Independence. So he was on the committee of people that gave ideas for that. So this is what you'll be doing today, is writing about 5 important facts about your person or 5 important facts about your events. Let me know if you need any help.